All right, so we have USC D versus WashU. Let me try to adjust the scoreboard here. And let me change the title. Okay, so we've watched both WashU teams today, A and B, and they've both lost. And now we're watching their C team. So hopefully their C team can pull through for WashU. Otherwise, they'll have lost all 3 of their matches. So let's see. We got General Obvious versus Phone Bone 420, whose name is Sam, against Angus Stegus, who had the game highlight from last week. Definitely hope their C team will continue the trend. Okay, we got a USC fan, Lonely Spaceman. Good to see you. Cheering on this D team. Here we have Megan. Megan's the captain of the Wash U team. Up against G. Seha. Giancarlo. Giancarlo is a cool name. Here we have Ashley versus Joe. So I gotta root for the fellow Joe. I'm rooting for you. Actually, it looks like Wash U has 2 Joes on the team. Joseph Melkonian and Joseph Bodros. And I don't see Jay Bodros, so they should be playing against Tristan 7, right? Don't see them. Let's see. Are they here yet? I don't see them. Well, they're missing. They got 15 minutes before they forfeit the match. So let's see what's happening here. How's Joe doing? Joe versus Ashley. Okay, so looks like Black has the slight edge here. 2 pawns to 1. But these pawns are doubled for White. But Black definitely has the advantage here, and looks like the king will be stepping up to attack the rook, which is the only defender of b4. So the king comes here, but it's a little too late. Oh, pawn here. Maybe this allows for pawn here, but there's going to be a check, and the rook can take this pawn. But the idea is that if king here, we have rook here. But actually, you get forked. So I would play here and hope for this. No, they go here. Maybe this is good as well. There is check, though. If you went here, there would not have been check. Okay. So king goes back. And now what? This king can be kicked away from the defense of f3. So probably any check from black would win material. Joe doesn't go for it. Decides to go back, and now we have h5 from white, which is nice. Not allowing black to play h5. Yeah, this is drop off. So we just watched Division 1. Now we're in Division 8. So yeah. It's a bit different. Let's check out General Obvious. This is the 4th board from USC. Division 8's the best. Or perhaps a biased point of view. Nitro Inferno, good to see you. I believe from, is that Mississippi? I don't know. All right, we got the game. Tristan Ma has joined. Okay, Megan won her game. Nice. How did this happen? How did Megan do? So Megan is the board 2, taking down the other board 2. Maybe we have the rosters mixed up. Oh, maybe this is another abandoned. Dude, I don't know. Oh yeah, White's checkmating. Maybe they resigned. Yeah, they resigned. Okay. Let's go back to Ashley versus Joe. How's this looking? So 3 versus 4. So yeah, I think Joe probably had better at some point. This rook got a little passive. We trade these rooks. And then yeah, rook here to take this one, but that's overall good for white. Because a 2-on-1 majority on the outside is definitely a game changer if you're able to hold on to that. And white essentially traded off a healthy pawn of blacks on the outside for a doubled unhealthy pawn of whites. This is not good because we have check and pawn takes. Pawn takes first, not as good. This might be a draw now, but I would assume that the players don't play perfectly. Definitely a rook check. Definitely a rook check. There it is. And now rook to either of these squares, probably. Maybe this one. Let's check in back with General Obvious against Foam Bone. Okay, so white's got the active rook here, which is nice. This bishop's a very tall pawn, defending everything. White's taking the space in the center. Hard to play as black. Hard to make progress. Maybe try to trade rooks. Okay, rook here. Probably not the best, but maybe looking to double, I suppose. Now we have this pawn put. Is that a sacrifice? Are they giving up material here? Can we take that? Is it going to be rook check now? Did white gambit a pawn to activate their second rook? Very genius. Look at that. So how do you defend this guy? Maybe you don't. So bishop here, but now there's takes here. Hit the bishop. Bishop comes back here. So the bishop guards against mate, but also blocks the king in. So okay, tucking back, perhaps going for this, and this. Then king can come out here. So rook's doubled. The h-pawn saved. Only 20 seconds for General Obvious. This pawn is hit. Now this pawn is hit. Offer rook trade, but now it takes with check. You could take this with check. Bishop takes. Now rook here. Rook here, now pawn push. This is winning for white, but low time. Pawn push is good because this pawn's pinned to the rook. I don't know if white's going to see it, but pawn push wins material. The knight steps back. I would have gone back here. Okay, still pawn push is good because this rook is still hanging. The king's enter. Now the bishop covers this, but that drops this pawn. This pawn's completely hanging now. That's a check. So I think Fonbone is making the mistake of trying to flag the opponent, but at the same time, that might be their only chance. Rook here, I mean, they should take this. Okay, offer trade here. They take. You should take this. You should take that, but okay. Save this pawn. Oh no. No, but there goes this pawn. Yeah, this is completely waiting for white. They should have more than enough time. Oh, Ashley and Joe drew. Okay, so half a point for Melko and half a point for Ashley. Megan got a point and won her game. And Jay Bodros beat Tristan. Okay. So we have the boards 1 and 2 correct. Don't stalemate. That's all I ask. King here, king here. Very nice. There's still a chance for stalemate? No. Not anymore. Yeah, they resign. Alright, so General Obvious with the upset win over Wash U. The board 4 taking down the board 1. Nicely done. And that's the only win that USC has from that round. Otherwise, Wash U has the 2.5 to 1.5 1-point lead here after round 1. So yeah, I have these players flipped. So let me just move them really quick actually. And that should be good. All right, round 2 underway. All right, Joe Melko versus General Obvious Ingus Stegas, who's the only player from USC to get a point in the first round. Looking to see if they can get another point, especially after beating the top board. If you're the 4th board, you start off with the toughest opponent, but then each round it gets easier and easier. So if Ingus Stegas can keep up that performance from round 1, that should be a good sign for them. So black is castle kingside. White needs to get their bishop out first before they castle as well. And so pushing c4 here, perhaps hoping that black takes and the bishop comes out in one move. Black maintains the tension and instead goes after this bishop with the knight. So the bishop will probably come back. Don't really want to allow this capture, opening up the king along the e-file. So bishop tucks back, makes sense, boxes out the knight. So now what does black follow up with? Maybe just take the e-file. Oh, bishop here attacking the knight a little bit. So if white doesn't castle soon, we could see rook e8, bishop takes, queen takes, and then knight takes pawn with tempo. Winning material as well, taking advantage of the pawn being pinned to the king and the queen leaving the defense of the pawn. So the bishop comes out here. So now white is ready to castle. We can take and then take, or we can take and then take. I don't see any way to win material yet, but Black just tucks back, maybe going here to attack the bishop yet again. Somewhat annoying. And yeah, if takes here, pawn takes, this knight has to move. Knight here would be a good move though. Maybe not before because the knight covered this, but now the knight's come back. So yeah, the knight wants to go to f5, it seems. So taking here, maybe queen takes. Okay, instead of going with bishop takes, maybe pawn push. But yeah, now there's no longer knight f5 because the bishop covers this. White is now happy and castled. So yeah, white's doing well. I'm not the biggest fan of knight e7, but it's not terrible. Pawn here, so able to bring the bishop back if needed. Also, perhaps c5 is a thing. This pawn's now hit twice, and this knight's hit twice, but defended twice. So probably you want to prioritize this thing. And if you go here, maybe white goes here, which is less than ideal. So taking the knight, actually, that's a good move because now g takes, and this king is a little exposed, but white has a bishop pair against a knight pair. Pawn here, very interesting. So white can take. Pawn takes back. Now this pawn's isolated. If queen takes, there's queen takes here, so you don't want to do that. So you're not winning a pawn, but you are weakening these pawns for sure. Maybe rook here was good. Okay, takes here, not the biggest fan of. Trading a good bishop for a bad knight, but you do win material, which is always nice. Good to see Jag in the chat cheering on his teammates. Jag, I'm not sure if on the website, I think Tristan just put the username wrong or a different username. So it's like probably he has to challenge manually, which is probably annoying for both players or both teams. And I don't know if the other team knows, but they did get one game in at least. But I haven't seen the second round start yet for them. So they should be challenging Megan. Oh, I see it now. Okay, so he's back to his... So the guy's got 2 accounts. That's kind of funny. So he played his first game on his Tristan Ma account, and now he played his second game on Tristan 7. At least he's back on the normal one, I guess. Alright, so I guess things are back to normal. So let's see, how's Megan doing against Tristan? Oh, what's funny for Wash U, their bottom 2 boards won upset wins, and their top 2 boards didn't win. Although Joe Melko got a draw at least. So yeah, here this king is awkward on f8. This king is yet to castle. Bishop pins the knight. That's pretty good for black actually. So let's see. Knight here, pawn here, queen here, lining up the queen opposite the king. And also pinning the pawn to the rook. But at this point, king steps aside, getting out of this. And now the knight needs to retreat. They didn't, and now bishop here wins material for black. So Megan's grabbing a knight, which is nice. But her king is yet to castle. She's pretty cramped. We'll see if she can convert this. Both players with about the same amount of time, 1.5 minutes. Although it is Megan's turn. And she's still thinking. Let's check with Ashley up against the top board from Wash U. Looks like Ashley's doing well. This bishop is pinned to the queen. And this move e5 attacking the bishop. So this should win material for black. And black should move on to win this game. They're also up 2 pawns, which is pretty big. So Ashley had a draw against the higher seeded player in the first round. Looks like they're going to be, okay, yeah, take with check or take with pawn to undouble isolate everything. But either way, everything's good. Should be. Another queen check. Maybe take this. Maybe bishop here, looking at that. That's pretty gnarly. There is now some checks, but I'm sure they'll be short-lived. King up. King up is a good one because if queen check, we can block with check, which is nice. Pawn block. No. King up. White's hoping for a draw by perpetual. Queen check, king up again. There's no check here. There's check here, though. Okay, there it is. Pawn block again. Walk the pawn all the way up the board. Let's see. Where to? King back. Now queen d8 100%. For sure. So now you probably go back up. Now here, now you go d7. If you go back up, that might be perpetual. That might be a draw. There it is. Wow. Ashley unfortunately couldn't continue the game. So they've drawn their first 2 games, although against both top boards of WashU. So not too shabby. Obviously would like to get more out of that, but here we go. We have a result from USC with a win over a Joe. So Giancarlo with their first win of the match ties everything up 3 points apiece for both these teams. We have 2 games left in this round. That was not 2, that was 3. And I could tell you that because I saw it with my own 2 eyes. But also, it's because the website declared it. So you know, oh, Joe Melko won here. So one Joe lost, the other Joe won. What happened in this game? Where did the black queen go? Oh, white just made a new one. Yeah. All right, let's follow this last game. So Joe Melko getting their first win, taking the lead for WashU. 1 game left in the first half. Only 20 seconds for Megan. Megan looks to be up a piece for a pawn, but very low on time. White's playing speedy. White closing any of this counterplay down, but black's pressing through. Megan's making progress here. Opening the H file. No. Losing the H pawn. White tried to keep it closed by taking this way, but forgot the rook was just going to take on H3. So, yeah, Tristan playing pretty fast, but losing more material. So is now down a complete knight, and this pawn might be under attack soon. Knight's going to come here, trading this. We could take that. Might have to. No, queen back, and now there comes the knight. King moves, knight takes. Oh, rook check would be pretty brutal. You'd have to block on g2, and then this pawn would fall. So, okay, bring the queen in. This is a threat. Rook's doubled now. This is hanging. Maybe go here to defend this. What else is there? Oh, wait. Oh, no. Bishop takes. Oh, no. The players are missing. Wait, rook takes knight. Rook takes knight. Oh, the second fork. Oh, they found another queen fork. Wait, but then their queen was hanging. I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't know what's happening. The knight's hanging. This knight's hanging. The king pre-moved. Oh, there's mate soon. Knight in. There's no stopping. There's no stopping this. Check and mate. Oh, they missed it. Bishop takes for sure. But black is down a whole rook. Rook check and mate. What is happening? What just happened? Megan was winning and now she's losing. But she was losing so many different ways. Oh, what a sequence. That was just a roller coaster. I mean, okay, check, check, and that should be mate. Yeah, we see it. There it is. All right, Tristan with a crazy game, taking down Megan, keeping it all knotted up, dead even, 4 points apiece, going into halftime here. We got Joe, another Joe versus Ashley event. I believe Ashley drew the first Joe. So let's see, can she improve? Can the second Joe? I should call him Joseph. The first guy, like they're both named Joseph, but Joseph Melkonian, the username is Joe Melko, so I can only assume they go by Joe. Joseph Badros, the username is J Badros, so I don't know if they go by Joseph or Joe. All right, but yeah, these players are within 100 rating points of each other. Black has the Fianchetto bishop. This bishop doesn't have a lot of future prospects. I mean, you got one square. Ideally, you'd push this guy, but black is guarding this pretty hefty. I mean, okay, pawn push, pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes. Yeah, I think at the end of all this, you lose the d pawn. Okay, so the knight is coming in. This is an outpost square. There's no black pawn that can kick it out of c5. So this will be a nice place to be. So Joseph recognizes this, sending the knight into a4 to outpost here on c5. Queen steps up, doubling here, but again, this is a great square to be. Helps block this diagonal from the queen as well. So there it goes, knight c5. This kind of keeps a clamp on all of these queenside pawns. Doesn't have much influence on the king side, unfortunately. And black is already trying to just get rid of this guy. White could play b4. b4, but then maybe bishop here, but then maybe, or pawn here, then bishop here, defending the pawn. You don't want to go here, because takes, you lose your rook. So, yeah, what's the plan here? Do you trade? I don't know. I think b4 is good. Also, knight here is also good, looking at some more of these dark squares. Okay, so Joseph goes for b4. So now, maybe black takes. Takes, and you cannot take with this pawn. You have to take with this pawn. So rook goes here attacking this. Now we can play a3, and we do so. Oh, this pawn is hanging, by the way, as this pawn is pinned to the rook. So yeah, maybe we'll see this tactic come to fruition. Does Ashley see it? No. Okay, so I really like bishop d2 here. Yep, best move by far. And yeah, black missed an opportunity to trade and then take on d4, hitting the rook. So takes here, I would take with a bishop. I would 100% take with a bishop. Yes, because you're opposite the queen. And this pawn is now passed. If you take with this pawn blocks this pawn's progression. So you leave this pawn on the a file on the outside with the support from the rook. And yeah, now you take with the bishop. If you take with the pawn, I mean, you're blocking everything. So, and you're hanging the exchange. So bishop takes, queen over, and now can we start moving this guy, or what's up? What's up with that? a4, a5, a6, a7. Get this guy here where the bishop defends it. That'd be very annoying. So if you go here and they try to address it immediately, you're at least getting here before they stop you. Okay, trying to trade here. This is a little awkward because after rook takes, we're no longer behind our pawn. We want to try to stay behind the pawn. So maybe better was to push a4. And if the rook goes to a8, okay, so this is not the best move because it kind of incentivizes us to push and attack, right? And if they try to block there, we can flush the rook out with the bishop and push yet again. So let's see. Oh, they might take here. Taking here would have been a move. Take, take, take. Still think that would favor white. So yeah. Yeah, we put a rook on the b file. They go to the a file. We have to go back. So we maybe missed a couple tempi here. But we're at least getting the pawn to a5. So essentially this game has become, oh yeah, a5 now for sure, because now you're guaranteed a6 and a7. Right? There's no way they stop a6, and there's no way they stop a7. So the pawn's going to be one square away from promotion. Yeah, the queen's coming over here, but the rook is still supporting this. a6, and again, you're not stopping a7. And now it's locked in here. So maybe maybe black will try to trade this bishop off. Maybe. So what's the deal here? What's the deal? Where do we go from here? We need to activate our queen now. Our rook and our bishop, they're doing great. Now the queen needs to join the party and get involved. So how do we do that? Maybe queen to d1 or e2. Yeah, so maybe queen b1's the move. We have a result, Phone Bone with their first win, taking the lead for Wash U. Let's see, we missed a mate or something. Oh, yeah, queen here, rook takes, and GG. All right. Let's see, we got Tristan versus Joe. This game pretty early on still. Here we got an attack going, rook defends. This king is on d2 for Megan. Megan is up material though. She's not afraid. Rook to the g file, attack here. Launching the h pawn. So Megan's going on the attack. We have a sacrifice. Oh, okay. So just take this. That's okay. Two minor pieces for the rook. Totally fine for white. Taking here is good, for sure. You take with anything. Yeah, pre-move that. Easy stuff. Easy peasy. Megan's up on time, too. So, general obvious, going for the sacrifice. Let's see if it pays off. Megan didn't take with the pawn, so these pawns are still isolated and doubled. So, we'll see if black can try to get any counterplay. Knight here I love a lot. Rook pins the bishop, so trying to play c4, but the queen could take on c4. But also white could just play c4 if they wanted to right now. So what's good for white now? Yeah, bring the knight in. Knight also helps cover this as well. Looking at a potential fork here. Blocking this backwards pawn. Life is good. Keeping the time pressure up. Let's check back in with Joe and Ashley. Ooh. Looks like Joe was able to convert this nice advantage here. Gonna make a second queen on the board. So Ashley's gonna be going down soon. She grabs a pawn. White can force queens off, but just making another queen, why not? There's no perpetual. Queen check, pawn block, queen check. Either way, we have queen block there. There's no more checks. So the king's running, but now we have queen check mate here. One move. All right. You know, that's okay. Rook takes. Threatening queen. Okay, queen checkmate again. There it is. Nicely done from Joe. Avenging the previous Joe. Wait, which Joe is that? Was that Bad Rose? Yeah. So Ashley got a draw against the first one. Couldn't get a draw against the second one. What's going on in this one? What do we got here? Do we have c4? Is c4 a move? I think you could play c4. There's also queen takes knight, which would be nice actually. What's with the viewer count? It's the chess.com embed. I'm sorry. I'm not actually getting this many viewers. I'm not actually this entertaining. So I understand the confusion. But rest assured, it's not my own doing. It's from the higher ups. So yeah, black finds it. Queen takes, very nice. I think that this is still good for white though. You don't want to hang the bishop. And if you defend the bishop with a rook move, then c4 actually hurts. So I think it's important that you take, rook takes, and then you play this position on with 2 bishops versus a rook. So Megan was doing well. She dropped a piece here. General Obvious is fighting back to make the position not so obvious. Does Megan find the right continuation here? Does she feel confident playing 2 bishops versus a rook? Because she should. 2 bishops are better than a rook. Does she know that she's still better here, or is she going to crack under the pressure? She's now under her opponent in time. Both players under a minute. Okay, she takes. Now rook has to take. And now you got to watch out for c4. Okay, here, this is very interesting now. I like c4, but then rook takes is probably pretty strong. They block here. Now just h5, right? Or king e2 actually is nice. Yes. King e2, getting out of this, attacking that. So now rook h3 would make sense. Oh no. Hello. Does Megan see it? She's low on time. We're going to get into another one of these time scramble modes. Come on. Come on, Megan. There it is. She finds the move. So takes. And now h5. Oh, gotta watch out for this. Nice. She sees it. She's playing better than me. Rook check. King up. Yes. Rook here. h5 anyways. They go here, though. Okay, rook defends this. Pawn check. Interesting. Rook king back. That's the only legal move. They find it. Rook can take the pawn. Now we go after these pawns, maybe. No. Gotta be careful with... Black has a lot of pawns for the bishop. It's actually even. The bishop's going to post up here. Also, the time scramble is going to be an issue. For sure. Bishop moves again, looking at rook check to pick up this pawn. So it all depends. Depends on the activity. Oh, no! That's a big blunder. Is Megan going to capitalize? Oh, she finds it. She finds it. That's a free rook. Oh, my goodness. Everything's going to fall apart now. Rook check would have been nice. Oh, king f8, king f6 is just the move that you don't want to make. But black still has the pawns. They're still pressing. Rook back, looking at this guy. Pawn here now. Rook check maybe. After this still. Here. I don't know. It's a lot of pawns. This bishop's kind of bad. There goes this one. King's getting active. Rook here, pawn push. Rook here, pawn push. 8 seconds, Megan's playing with fire. Oh my god, she gives up a bishop. But there's still 2 pawns. Push. Oh my goodness, Megan. This game might be a draw. Wait, it might be winning. It might be winning now. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this was always winning. I think this pawn push was not good. I think instead, if you go here, it might be a win. Okay, go here. Okay, I don't know. What? Okay, that was completely unnecessary. A4, yeah. No, I mean, this is still winning, of course, but making me nervous. You got a lot of pawns left. Just don't stalemate. Did I give Tristan their point? I think so. Oh, they played Joe Malco already. All right, let's see Megan's technique here. Let's see it. Let's see it. Pawn push. King here. Do not go here. Do not go here. Nice. Promote. Easy. Promote again. Oh, here. Okay, they have another. Okay. What is happening? He's boxing the king away. Ah, just resigns. All right, they had enough. Wow. What a crazy game. Okay, so Megan gets another point. USC, did they win any games from that? They won Tristan's game, I believe. So scores 5-7 in favor of WashU. They are up 2 points going into this fourth and final round. Here we have Joe against Giancarlo. We have Ashley versus Megan. The board threes. This should be a good one. They're within 10 rating points of each other. Ashley's got that 9 rating point advantage, so she's the heavy favorite. Although, if I'm being honest, I like how Megan's been playing today. Megan's got some good games under her belt. Ashley actually hasn't won any games. She's had 2 draws. One against Joe Melko and the other against WashU's top. So she drew the top 2 boards. Then she lost against the bottom board. So let's see how she does against Megan. Megan's the leader of this team. She's the captain. She's got 2 points as board 3. Actually, WashU's bottom 2 boards have been outperforming their top 2 boards. USC needs to win the round 3-1 to tie. 3.5 or more to win. So it's going to be a tough challenge ahead for sure. Let's see. This is the board 4s going at it. So USC is the favorite in terms of rating on the bottom 2 boards. Here we see the top boards. USC is the favorite on the top boards as well. And on the bottom board, they're the favorite as well. So this USC team outranks the WashU team on every single board, but the performance isn't there yet. But we'll see. Maybe this could be the round where the ratings actually matter. But in the lower divisions, it's tough to say that the ratings will make that much of a difference. OP Gymnast, thank you for the follow. Welcome. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Ashley versus Megan. Let's see what's going to go on here. So we got both sides with the Fianchetto Bishop. Bishop here. This bishop decided to stay on the board and tuck back. I'm typically not the biggest fan of this bishop. I would rather it trade off because this bishop now is really strong. This bishop takes away a square from the king. So the king has actually no moves here. But yeah, now White's trying to come in here and trade off this bishop. Okay, pawn push is nice. What's up, WV? Where's UCLA though? Pickle sardines. That's a great question. I'm not streaming any of their matches, unfortunately today. But in like an hour from now, an hour and 15 minutes, we'll be watching UC Berkeley versus UC San Diego. And I know it's not the same thing. It's not as good as UCLA, but it's the next best 2 UCs that we have to offer. Edgar Jan, thank you for the follow. Welcome. All right, so what's going on here? Ashley's put a knight on c5. This is a pretty nice square. If all 3 of these pieces were taken off the board, knight check would be a fork on the king and queen. It's going to be hard to pull this off, though. There's a lot of defense. But I'm just saying, in the future, you never know. White could blunder mate in 2 with the move g4. If you want to know what the worst move of the position is, it's g4. Because queen takes, bishop block, and that's mate. But Ashley's better than that. She's not going g4. Black trades off the knights. Now the queen's on this diagonal, which is covered by the knight. What else is going on in this position? This pawn. Look at this bishop. Staring at the rook. We got to watch out for e4 double attack. So the bishop gets on the long diagonal. This is a good move. It addresses this threat. So now if takes here, we could probably take, and now our knight can move with an attack if black were to take back. So yeah, the queen actually boxes out the knight from coming here. The knight here would be a nice move because you're attacking this bishop and hopefully flushing it out of your space. This bishop's really invading white's space here. University of Penn used to have a team back in season 1. They have since not rejoined. But I do know they have a club, and if you want, I can try to connect you with them. But thank you for asking. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, UPenn can join us next season, which should start early 2022. Probably February. Maybe mid-February. So, okay, so pawn to f4, we push e3, and now we can take back. Don't want to take with a pawn, probably. Probably you want to take with the queen, but rook takes is interesting too. Rook opposite the queen. Now d4 could be a threat. Rook lift. Yeah, I like d4. I like d4 a lot here for Ashley. Ashley's also up on time. She's up about a minute. Let's take a quick look at some other games. Here we got Joe and Giancarlo. So opposite side castles, always very exciting. White's trying to launch some pawns. f6, I'm not so sure about. Now the bishop's hit. Probably won't want to take this. Queen takes. I think white is much closer in the attack. And black's king side is starting to look a little weaker with some of these pawn moves. So I'm not so sure. Although f takes e3 or e5, I mean, sorry. Bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, right? This should be winning material. So now pawn takes here. We're inviting the knight to take. They take with the pawn, and now we are capturing on e5. I think knight takes was better, not only opening the rook, but also bringing the knight in closer and help supporting the center. So now black is able to take on e5, and this should win material for black. Although this pawn is also hanging. So very, very dangerous here for this black king. A lot of pawn moves, a lot of open lines. Gotta watch out. This knight hasn't moved though. The knight would be a much better place on g4. So here we take with the knight. 100%. Although computer says bishop takes is better. So maybe you think about it. I like having the fianchetto bishop, because to me it's a strong defender of the king. But taking with the okay, take here. If queen takes first, then bishop comes back to block. We win a piece. Knight takes first, defends it temporarily, but now you take here, and now the queen comes in with check. So now white's crushing. Check, and it's going to be lights out soon. Rook f6 is a move. Yeah, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, hits the queen, and defends the pawn. So that would have been a little bit better. Oh, the Splinter's mate in 1. Giancarlo. No. Oh, no. All right. So yeah, queen h7 is GG. Joe getting a crucial point for Wash U. Let's tune in back to Megan and Ashley's game. So look at this fianchetto knight. Look at this smothered bishop. Bishop has no legal moves. Megan's down on the clock though. Ashley has a minute on her opponent. But Megan's looking pretty good here. This is a strong setup. I mean, look at all the pieces here. These rooks are not playing at all. These heavy hitting rooks. Megan, her rooks lift. Let's give Joe Melko the point. He's at 2.5 out of 4. That's 8 for Wash U. So Wash U just needs a draw on any of the 3 remaining boards. Takes here helps white out a lot. This bishop, did you see how bad it was on h1? Now look at it. Pristine. Fresh. Beautiful. Material winning. Look at that. Look at that. You see this? That's a great move. I'd even consider this one. So that's winning material. So yeah, when you have your opponent's pieces tied down, don't take them. right? Did you see how bad this knight was? Staring into nothing from all these pawns. Maybe go here, yeah, but then you take the bishop here, king takes, and then you crash through. I don't know if the queen was still here or not, but now you take. To take is a mistake, as they say, and now everything's falling apart. You can take this, you can take this, you don't even have to take this, right? Remember, to take is a mistake. So they decided it's the king steps up, and only after the rook gets unpinned, then you take. So that makes sense. Here, it takes with the pawn. I think queen takes would have been a little bit better, because then you try to get the queens off the board. When the queens are still on the board, Megan has a chance. She's down in exchange. She's down a pawn, but she's also down in time. I was gonna say she's up in spirit, but yeah, like, okay, I don't know. What's Megan's hope? She's got queen here, knight here, but there's always queen here. Oh, General Obvious beat Joe Badros, so the bottom board gets a point for USC, bringing it back within 2. There's 2 games left. We got the top boards, Foam Bone versus Tristan. What's happening here? Tristan is up material. What is happening? What is happening in this position? That is checkmate. G5. Bold move. If rook takes, rook takes. Okay, double the rook. I mean, the queen's also here. Defending knight back. I don't know what's happening. Weird position. Let's go back to Ashley and Megan. Both players at 20 seconds or less. Wait, rook takes? What is this? Wait. King takes? Hold up. Queen check. Queen check. Queen check. Queen check. Wait, what? Okay, the rook is defended. Hold up. Why not knight check? Knight check now? Queen back. Megan's fighting. Megan is fighting. Knight over. Attacking this pawn. Rook up, threatening the fork, or the skewer. Knight hits the queen. Oh, rook here anyways. Take it. No. You're down a rook. You could have won the rook back. Oh, huge fork. 3 seconds for Ashley. 2, 1. Just move the king. Oh my god. Takes a check. Take back. Here. Oh, Megan's winning with the 2-on-1 outside. Oh, she's winning. Just take. Yes. Oh, you gotta take back. Now this pawn's promoting. Oh, white's trying too much. Push. You don't even need to care about that pawn. You got a queen on the board. 10 seconds is 20. What a roller coaster. What an absolute roller coaster. Queen here. Very solid. Give check. Oh. Okay. This happened last time. She gave up that rook. I'm pretty sure Megan's done this before. She's no stranger to these positions. Queen here. Save the pawn. Win this pawn. A stalemate. A stalemate would win. It actually doesn't matter. You just... Even if you flag, you still win the match. So Megan with this one clinches it for Wash U. All they needed was a draw, but she's going to get the win anyways. So there goes USC's hopes at the comeback. And we got mate next on the board. There it is. Well done to Megan. We got one last game here. Looks like Tristan wasn't going to win this one anyways. So yeah, USC goes down to a strong Wash U team. So well done to Megan. She went 3 out of 4. I forgot who she lost to. But yeah, very dominant performance for sure. We could do interviews if you guys want. We could bring in some players. Because we have an hour break before the UC Berkeley and UC San Diego match. Yeah, so Phone Bone wins this one. So yeah, Wash U, top two boards at 2.5 each, Megan at 3, and the bottom board 2 out of 4. Very solid performance overall. 10-6 final score. Very well done.